Okay.
Hello everybody. My name is Flo.
My name is Brandon.
I'm Sandy.
This is Jane, and welcome to String Along.
So, this is episode 15, and today we'll be talking about green flags. So, it's pretty common to hear about all the red flags and people tend to overlook the green ones. So, what are some green flags to you guys?
But let's explain what green flags are.
So, what are green flags?
Well, green flags are definitely well, we all know red flags, right? Because it's used so often. Obviously, it's the opposite. Now, green flags, in my opinion, is something that when you see it, you go like, "Dang, um, that person's like pretty. That person's good. That person's a good person." Or if you look into in a romantic or in a relationship type of thing, then it's like, "Dang, that's the reason why I like her," kind of thing.
I think
Mhm.
green flags are a sign of God from God saying that yes, this is the one. So
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
but what does a green flag look like?
it's not what it looks like. It's an indication that a person has good quality or traits that you like.
Wait, but what you just said though just contradicts itself. Because you said it's why God, tells you that it's that person. In that case, if it's coincidence and you just meet with each other, you're saying that's a green flag.
You
Because
know
it's
what
a
I meant,
sign from
Flo.
God, right?
I mean, it's a sign from God, but based on your opinion or your taste.
All right, get that.
Yep, but I feel like taste sometimes, people have bad taste. For example, if you were to be used to like red flags, you would look for people who have certain traits in red flag area. You know what I mean? So like to define green flags for me personally, I see it as someone who's a good listener, someone who you respect and respects you back, and someone um who just genuinely cares about you and other people. How about you, Jane?
For me, like green flag, I would just think of it as like, say there's like a girl walking by Brandon and Flo, and then you're like, wow, she's really hot or something, right? And then, but it's not like you think you're in love with her or anything. It's like all in your
Mhm.
mind. But green flag, it's more like in here. It's
In the
like,
feels.
oh, like ooh, like you get butterflies. Or it's like, "Oh, do I like this guy?" Or like you're confused. So I feel like green flags like give you those confusion. I feel like there's so many traits. Like if you have like same love language when you are dating, it actually does give you a lot of like I don't know, just the way that you feel love and you give love. If it matches, that's like a green flag. Those people that respect adult and respect kids too, I think is very important. And um, just guys that make effort in your friends or like becoming your friend's friend or like how they try to get along with your family, I feel like is also a green flag.
Mm-hmm.
What
Mhm.
about you, Brandon?
I think green
Oh,
flags could apply to both relationships and friendships.
mhm.
And I see green flags as people who you know won't go and do something and mess up your life or your relationship. You know what I mean? So for example, if you were like in a beginning friendship with another person and kind of like see the surface level of this person and you kind of just know that they're not gonna like go do something dumb like uh talk shit behind your back or something like to your friends
Mm.
and then make your friends like leave you or something. I don't know, stuff like that.
Okay. So you're technically just saying as long as someone doesn't talk behind your back, that's a green flag.
No, that's yeah.
As long as they don't talk
It's more
shit
like
I'm
behind your
giving.
back.
it's more like
I mean,
if
it's a good
Sandy
sign. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
if Sandy thinks that that person won't, do that, then it's her. Like he that person could do it. She could like talk behind, but just
Mhm.
the fact that Sandy believes in them already gives them like a green flag for Sandy.
I wanted to ask you guys, have you guys just had a person that showed green flags all around? Like, was there a specific moment that made you think, like, oh, this person is actually really great?
Hell yeah. That's happened. And I think that's one of my friends. And I think it's just like you start realizing and you hang out, but I think it's also a lot. It happens when you're not in the mood, or for me, at least for me, it happened when I was not in the mood, and that person lightens me up. So like that person I'm talking about is like really always hyped up every time, always active and very friendly. Always kind of includes everybody. And there's times where when I feel down and like out of energy, I don't want to hang out with people, stuff like that. That person will change my vibe, and I think that person can easily make me from a person who's sad to like someone happy in an instant, just because of that person's presence. And I think that's a huge green flag because um, if you just hang out, then you'll always have a good time with that person. And then even if that person can't match your energy, like that person's not gonna go lower. That person's only gonna lift you up. So that's why I thought that was a huge green flag. And then like just constantly, the more I hang out, the more I realize there's more green flags and all that.
Positive
Mm,
energy.
Yeah.
yeah. Honestly, you kind of just described Brandon for me. Um,
Mhm.
Brandon kind of reminds me of this like toothless dog that just makes you happy no matter what.
Toothless dog. What?
Damn, I didn't know. Wow, thanks, bud. Really appreciate it there, buddy.
It's not an insult. It's kind of like a
How's that not an insult? A toothless dog. What
It's
the?
cute. It's cute.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm.
Really?
I think it's when you meet someone and they're like like say like you met like your mutual friend, or it's just someone completely new, or someone that you kind of knew about but you've like finally got to get to know them. I feel like you only see like the good sides of them first, and then you get attracted, and then afterwards, like when time passes by, I feel like the red flags come out. So it's really good for to have someone where it's like, oh, like he was like whatever, or like she was whatever, and the more you hang out with them, then green flags come out. So it's like the charm. I feel like the charm is so important, more than looks and even like personality, like that charm that they have, or yeah.
Whenever you try to look at someone, and if let's say you're attracted to a person, you always want to see the green flags. But I feel like there's always a point in time where you're like, oh my God, that's a red flag. But then again, that's either dating or friends, right?
Yeah.
It's
So
funny you say that because when I first started dating, it was kind of red flags all around. I just kind of pushed it aside because I had doubt in the back of my mind. And when I came to the time where I wanted to just end things with this certain person, right? Um, I gave that person a chance to show me that they could change from a red flag to a green flag. And that person actually did do that. Um, and so for me personally, I think people can change from being a not that great of a person to someone who's good for you.
So, what are considered a green flag for you guys? Let's just say in terms of a relationship. Let's go with that path first for now.
Oh, I have one. Significant other that could celebrate like your achievements. I feel like that's so important. There are some like salty ass boys
Oh,
that when you say like, "Oh, guess what I did?" Like, and then you like tell them your achievements, and then they're like, "Oh, nice," or like they're not really like happy for you, and they're like, "Oh, like why'd you do that kind of thing?" It's like, yeah. So that I
damn.
think that's really important, like that someone that could be happy for your achievements and how they're not like salty or because they're not like that means they're like super competitive, like they want to be better than me, So I just
Mhm,
want like
In a sense,
genuine
jealousy.
happiness. Hmm.
mhm.
Mhm.
I think supportive is
Mm.
really big in any type of relationship. You should always be encouraging the other person, not putting them down for their achievements.
Mhm.
Very true. On top of that, obviously, I agree with that, and I want to add like the fact that someone has to be very empathetic and caring, which in some ways it adds to what you're saying too. Um, if it's like a significant other, then obviously they kind of have, just like I mentioned before, they have to match your energy. If you're happy, they got to be happy as well. If you're sad, then
Yeah.
hopefully they're not sad as well, because then you both like at least you got someone to be sad with, which is great. Better to be sad with someone else than alone. But in that case, it's better if your significant other lifts you up. So that's better. But matching energy, I think, is always the best thing. That's a
Mhm.
huge green flag,
So for me, it's same music taste, I would say. Because you gotta match up that energy sometimes.
right?
I mean, I've met
Yeah.
people who has like different music tastes, but it's not like I think it's just that's just for me. It's like pretty like special. I'm not saying yeah, supportive is very general, but I'm talking about green flags that's like specific. So you know how people have pet peeves? So I'm talking about the opposite. So something that you're just like, whoa, only for you.
But music is just so general. Like you could say, "Oh, I like EDM," and like half of the population likes EDM.
Yeah, but it's like just that feeling that you can vibe with them. I'm not saying like, oh,
Mm.
you have to pick like specific EDM. It's just
Imagine
more of like, yeah.
Imagine car rides and then you don't have the same music vibes and you just start fighting for whoever's fucking got the aux. It's like, what the fuck, this shitty song you're putting on? That's true.
I
But I think,
actually don't
yeah.
like it when someone says like, "Oh, can I put my music on?" It's like, damn, just
Yeah.
listen to it. Flow.
This is very
Wait,
true.
I do that
Oh!
often. I do that
Very
often,
often.
but what's it called? I still put the songs that the driver wants to listen, but obviously if I'm sitting in the passenger seat, that's the aux person. And there's is the aux person for a reason, because the driver is driving. Let him focus on let him or her focus on the driving. And then the aux just aux. So like for me, if I'm sitting in the passenger seat, obviously I want to do something rather than just look at the person driving. So auxing is always does something for me, I guess. I don't do it because I dislike the person's taste in music. All right.
Yeah,
Sometimes
right.
I do, but I usually am fine with most songs. I just can't handle country. I think that's it. So
Oh, really? Country?
yeah.
I can't handle
No Taylor
no offense.
Swift?
I can't handle
Back
metal.
then, but
I
no.
can't
Oh,
handle
metal. I
metal.
can't do metal as well. So yeah, okay.
Like
Metal
no
I can.
offense, any metal listeners. Ah,
Are there any green flags where if it's too much, then it becomes a red flag? Like
hmm.
for me, like manners, I feel like
Hmm.
manners is a good thing. Like, you know, like it's a
Oh, but
green
too much
flag.
manners.
But too much manners, like
Okay.
I hate it. Like
Yeah.
I personally hate people like opening the door for me. Oh well, sometimes it's
What?
okay, but if it's no
What?
no. Like sometimes it's okay. Like if they're getting out of the car and like they're opening the door when you're in the back seat, like that's good. But if they're like a driver and they come to the other side and like
Oh,
try to open your door to just so like or oh like I hate it
those people
so
are
much.
extra,
Yeah, when people are so
extra.
extra with manners, like they'll go out of the way to like open the door for you, like just I could do it too, like no worries. I hate
No,
it.
but I personally think it's a nice gesture, I guess.
Some people like
Because personally, I've done that for other people.
Really?
I have just because, I just want to be that person that's like, "Oh, you get in first. I'll take care of you."
Mm.
I mean, that's true. I mean, too much of something can be a bad thing. But okay, what about respecting culture? Would you guys say that that's like something that's like a green flag where, let's just say, yeah, someone is Korean and then they're also respecting that Korean culture and following the procedures. Or Chinese New Year's coming up, then they just tag along and just celebrate
Lunar New
the
Year's, by the way.
Lunar New Year. Sorry, I'm not
Brandon,
Chinese anymore.
are you gonna give us red envelopes?
I'm not married, so no.
Oh,
That is true. You have to be married to give out red envelopes.
oh, interesting.
And you stop receiving red envelopes after you get a job, though, right?
What? No,
There's
I don't
actually
think
two
so.
different things. Some people
Yeah.
say it's after you get a job, but a lot of other people also say it's after you get married.
Okay,
Yeah.
Because
I think
you start being the one that gives out money.
Mm.
interesting.
I'm never getting married.
And well, going, I want to go back to what Brandon said. I think it's definitely a huge green flag that they adjust to the culture in terms of a relationship. But I think that's also mainly about being open minded for them. So I think that it goes along with what you're saying. Is if someone's not really open minded, that's a red flag to me. And then it's a green flag if
Yeah.
they're very open minded. And if I'm about to be in a relationship, then matching energy also matches with being with the open minded in some ways, learning about the other person's life, culture, history, and all that. So that's what it is.
Do you think people actually don't consider that, like, being open-minded or even like trying to learn a different culture would actually, boost that relationship? Do you think people actually don't, notice?
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I saw a post like a couple weeks ago. It was about a Korean girl who said that she was dating a white boyfriend, right? And
Mm.
she said that when they went to Korea, she wanted her boyfriend to bow to her grandparents as a sign of respect, right? Um, and he wasn't willing to do that because he felt that it was kind of looking down on him, and so he
Oh.
didn't do it. So I
Mm.
think that was kind of disrespectful of the culture, just because it's kind of tradition to, respect your elders, in
Mhm.
South Korean culture or in Asian culture in general.
Yeah.
Okay. And speaking of elders, do you guys also agree that being having that good relationship with the family, siblings, parents, and grandparents are very crucial, like important green flags?
Yes.
Yeah, when I see a person has healthy relationships with other people, that means they act as a good person towards them. They give them respect and they don't really try to start up drama or something.
It usually it's gonna be a case by case thing, but like I usually agree. Yeah, relationship with the people around you is always like if someone doesn't have a good relationship with their family, unless there's a really good reason for it, then it's a red flag. But it's not like I'm gonna jump into conclusion and say just because they don't get along, then we're not gonna get along kind of thing. Because there's always those kind of
Mm,
case scenarios where
right.
you gotta learn the whole story kind of thing. So yeah, I think
Mm.
that's a green flag from me. You know what I'm saying? That's a
Mhm,
green flag coming from me
mhm,
where I'm not gonna jump into conclusion until I know the person's story. But yeah.
Mm,
When you guys
that is true.
when you guys date, do you want to be like super friendly to your significant other's like family, or would you rather like keep distance and then have that line?
I mean, it really depends on how far you are in the relationship. I personally would not meet the family unless the relationship is serious.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
But
mm.
that's also just me, you know?
I usually keep my distance like professional, like in the beginning of the stage. And then once, I feel more comfortable, then yeah, it'll be like small jokes or, you know, drinking a little bit. But it's just having that comfort just depends. But you also want them, like the parents, to make sure that they're trusting their daughter with someone that they can feel comfortable with. So that's how I would do it. Okay, now Flo.
Um, how I would do it, I mean, it depends on the family if I can vibe well with them. But I think for the significant other's parents, uh, I wouldn't be too friendly. It's more like I'd be paying my respects. But then
Yeah.
if the other my significant other's siblings, then I'll treat them as friends, like they're my friends. So I would joke around and like not even like they're my significant other's siblings, but more like they're my friends too.
Friends.
Yeah, and then the parents, I would get along. Like I would still be fine with drinking with them, stuff like that. But it's not like I would be acting like they're just friends at all. I would still always feel uncomfortable somewhat.
I can just imagine you like cussing with them.
I could cuss with the dad, like with the dad. I think. Say if the dad is like cussing at someone or some shit, then I'd be like, yeah, fuck this guy, right? Kind of thing. I could do that if I'm drunk. If I'm drunk, but then if not, I'll be like, I'll just be listening. Like I'll be like, yeah, yeah, he kind of messed up or stuff like that. But I would just stay low.
What about you,
I could-
Jane?
I could see all of you guys like being super shy with like adults. I'm actually like very friendly with adults. Of course, I have respect and everything. Like, but even my friends, like parents, like I get so close to them so easily. It's because I don't know what I do, but like Flo's mom, I talk to her like separately without Flo too.
she, she just
Yeah.
teased my mom
Oh.
sometimes.
Yeah. I'm like, look at his belly, and I will send a picture of it.
Unbelievable.
And then he's like, make him lose weight. I'm like, I got you, kind of thing. I don't know. Like, I just have like, I guess I just have the personality. Like, even with my like past significant other's family, like I was able to just like become. I guess it's kind of bad because we broke up, but like become kind of like their daughter. Because I usually dated
Mhm.
someone that either didn't have siblings or like they only had like brothers. So I think
Oh,
for me, I was like the daughter that that
That
they
makes
always wanted,
sense.
kind of thing.
Well, all right, let's talk about in specific environments. So we're talking. Let's talk about at a restaurant. That's an easy thing. Usually, you go to date. When you go on a date, then there's a lot of green flags and red flags you can pick up at a restaurant. What are some green flags and red flags in that area?
so in a date, I mean, a guy is more likely who wants to pay. But if a girl pays for the parking, green flag.
Parking. Parking is all you
Especially
need.
Yeah, Mark.
especially
Huh?
if the guy drives, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
especially if the guy's.
or like offering desserts.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Oh, the way they talk to their waitress or waiter. Just the
Mm,
just the way they like speak to them or ask them for something. Like are they like being appreciative, you know? Because some people they're like, "Oh, can I have this?" And it's like, "Oh." But some people are
oh,
like saying like thank you or like I think it's like such like a common thing. Like you should say thank you, but a lot of people don't thank them.
For me, personally, because I worked as a waitress or um I look for things like after eating and you guys have empty plates, I see it as a green flag when they stack up the plates and like put it all in the middle or something. Which really like just helps the waitress out. Because knowing how the job is like really fast paced and it just makes it a slightly easier for the waitress. So I see it as a green flag when they like do stuff like that.
That's so true. They're
mm.
being so
Like
thoughtful. Like they want to help out.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's
It's like
interesting.
pretty much being considerate. No,
I,
okay, Flo,
Yeah.
tell me if you agree with this one. She eats what you don't eat. That's
I
a
don't
damn
know.
good flag. What? What do you
Uh,
mean?
I mean,
It's like
the-
Guys
it,
that are picky.
I agree with that somewhat, but
no, no.
like
It's like no, no.
I would dislike it if she's eating only because I didn't eat it.
No. Okay. Sorry. She eats what I don't usually like. Like, so let's say I don't like vermicelli. No,
Vermicelli?
cilantro.
Oh, cilantro?
Cilantro. But she likes cilantro. So I give her my cilantro because she likes it. Wait, what? Am I the only one?
Let me give the dump
Wait, do
and
you not
garbage
like
to the
cilantro?
girlfriend.
I don't like no, but that's like a steal,
What?
like a win.
It's a good combo. Yeah,
It's a
makes it a
good
good
combo.
combo.
That's
It's
not,
a great.
Uh-huh.
But I don't think
Huh?
it's like I don't think you can call that
Wait,
a
what?
green flag.
That you don't like cilantro.
I mean, okay, maybe I'm the red flag that but I'm just saying like
I think
it's just like cool.
I think
Like
it's a
people
good
don't
match because like yeah, obviously you waste less food, but I don't know if it's a green
Yeah.
flag.
I just think it's like a really like cool thing, like just in general. Like
Yeah, it's cool for sure. It makes sense. It's nice. It's convenient.
never mind.
Yeah.
Never
But
mind.
one
Oh, guys thought that don't overeat.
Mm.
It's green flag. Like if they're stuffing it in their mouth and they're like, I'm so full afterwards. I am so.
it depends on when you're eating though.
Why are you being
I
so defensive?
overeat.
What's going
Yeah,
on?
I know. I was
But
like
at all you can eat, you're going there to go eat all you can eat.
no,
All
what
you
she
can
means like
eat, not
stuffing.
over what you could eat.
No, she's talking about. Well, you're talking about like just constantly eating, like up to the point where you're
Wait,
completely
yeah.
full,
Yeah, like they
not
need to
stuffing
know
your
how
mouth,
to.
right?
Yeah, no, like they need to know how to control what they are capable of. You know,
Oh.
I think I
No,
don't
you
think.
gotta challenge yourself. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I don't like it. If you're full, you're full. Like you don't have to like make it worth.
Finish it.
no, but you gotta challenge. Yeah, like Sandy said, you gotta challenge yourself. You gotta eat more. You went to an all you can eat for that reason. If you're eating for the satisfaction of the taste, you're going to a fancy restaurant that gives you a 5-course meal with small portions. You know, I think it depends on where you go for me. But I agree with you to a certain extent. I wouldn't want to see someone eating a shit ton. I
Like
wouldn't
they're
want to
like
see
they're
myself.
like
Fuck.
unbuckling their pants and they're like,
Oh my
I
god,
gotta
that's
eat
too
more.
much.
Oh my god, I hate it.
I feel attacked.
I'm
I
not
feel
saying
like
it was you. I never said it was you.
I know, but I do that. That's why.
I I feel like on the first date is a little too much. Maybe on the third date, once you start like getting to know each other, that's fine.
True.
Would sharing a food be a green flag on the first date or no?
With what?
Like offering like, trying your food. Is that a green flag or no?
I think that's a green flag.
Yeah, I
Green
mean,
flag,
if someone's offering their food, yeah.
That's not that
green
great of a
flag
green flag
unless
then.
they ask you like throughout the whole meal. You sure? You don't want to try
No,
some? Are you sure?
no. That's
Last
excessive.
chance. Like,
Mhm.
stop.
Yeah, I got another green flag. Or a red flag more like it, but it's like if you go to a restaurant and the food's not up to par or up to what you expect, and then if the person can brush it off, if it's not that big of a deal, then it's okay. It's a green flag. If the person cannot brush it off and has to ask for the meal to be redone, or ask the server or complain
Oh
about
my
it
gosh.
just because it's exactly not up to par, that's a red flag for me.
Oh,
Huge red flag. It's like high
That
maintenance as
is true.
fuck. And I'm not a great chef, so if I cook, then obviously she's gonna be complaining all the time, yo.
Are you talking about me?
So what?
damn.
Wait, no, I'm not talking about you.
But I finish all his food, even if it's bad.
No,
Oh.
yeah. That I think that's a green flag. That's a green flag. Like if someone's willing to
Mhm.
just sacrifice their taste buds just for you.
Like they're crying and you ask, "Are you okay?" You're like, "Oh my god, it's so
Yeah.
good."
Yeah.
Let me use the restroom real quick.
Oh,
Alright.
also when a guy tips less than like 15%, like okay, if their service was bad, I understand. If everything was perfectly fine and you give like less than 10%, like oh, like you need to know how to spend money. Ugh.
That's
Or
interesting. I've actually never
or
heard of
maybe
that.
they're broke. You
Actually,
know,
yeah.
Just
sometimes
don't go out
you
and
just
eat.
don't have
Oh,
Huh?
if you broke, just stay home.
Or if you really want to eat that food without paying tip, then you two go and you eat at home. You don't go out and ask
Mm.
for their service and not expect to pay.
No, but that's what I
That
dislike
that
about
is
the
true.
American culture. That's what I
Mhm.
strongly dislike about the American culture. You go to France,
Mm-hmm.
and then so in Europe, if you tip the person, it's seen as disrespect because it's more like you think I'm
Mm-hmm.
that low, that's why I'm a server, and you're tipping me money
Oh
because
yeah.
you know I need more money, stuff like that. It's disrespect if you tip in Europe. So I wasn't used to tipping when I came to the U.S. But it's also I feel like the U.S. I'm sorry to all the American viewers, but I feel like to this point it's like they expect more money from you, kind of thing. And I strongly
Mm-hmm.
believe that if you don't give, sometimes like I give tip only because I feel bad to the point where, um, like if I do takeout, I usually give a tip for fucking for no reason, but I do it sometimes only because I'm worried they might do something to my food just because I didn't tip them because they're so used to receiving tip.
Mm.
So like if I'm doing a
But
to
don't.
go, you're paying them before they give you food, right? Sometimes you just buy and then you wait for the food to come out. And at that point, I'm
Oh.
just like, oh man, I feel like I need to tip that person because eventually they're gonna give me either less food or they're gonna spill on my food because I didn't tip them, and that's disrespectful in the American culture not to tip. So that's why I tip them out of like just because I got a tip kind of thing. And I think that's just
Mm.
bad. But that's my take on that.
Yeah, I've never heard that. Interesting.
So it's like instead
Yeah.
of the food being $16, it's always gonna be 18, $19. And it's just like,
Yeah.
damn,
Mm-hmm.
it makes
I'm sure.
everything more expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't think that way.
But that's difference in culture though. That's difference in culture because I'm not American, so
I was actually going to add to Flo's example. So
Okay.
he talked about how if the other person ordered bad food and how they would react to it. I feel like a green flag would be when I order a bad food and then the other person offers to trade with me. So I
oh
take their food
dang, that's
and they eat the
nice.
sucky food that I ordered.
That's nice. I mean, yeah, that's great. Actually, that's I've never
Would you do that, Flo and Brandon?
No, I would
I
not. I mean,
I
I mean, I would trade if the girl doesn't want it,
yeah.
but
If she asks to trade, then I'll trade. But I wouldn't like get out of my way and be like, oh, you like I'll eat your food. I wouldn't mind sharing my food and like we can dump the other one, but I wouldn't give the whole thing. Or if not, I'd just ask the person to order something else.
or yeah, I would probably
Mm.
just say yeah, order something else, but put that aside and we can take it, go,
Yeah.
you know, and then
But
just in front of
I wanted to say the problem with that is when you order extra set of food, obviously you have to pay more money to it. You know what I mean? So that's why it's not ideal to order another plate of food when you could just steal
but
the other person's food.
it's not ideal to eat, to
Food that you
not
don't like.
enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of
Or you
ruins
guys
the
could
date,
split it in half or something. I don't know.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's either you can split it or you know
Mhm.
what would be a good idea? Split the meal that you have right now. Go on another restaurant or go to another restaurant. Boom, son.
Then
McDonald's
Mm-hmm.
as backup.
Yeah.
it
I
works.
mean, McFlurries are excellent desserts. Ooh.
That's only if the ice cream machine is working.
That's
Oh
definitely a
yeah,
green
that's
flag though. That's definitely a green flag if someone's willing to sacrifice. If I'm complaining about my food and the girl in front of me is like, offering me her food, I wouldn't say yes though. I don't think so. I think I'll just eat it because I would feel bad for that person to eat shitty food. But
I've actually done that before. I would just like try their food even if they said it's bad. And I'll be like, oh, it's not bad. And then it would be like, you could eat my food. Like, I really don't think it's bad. Because it's just, I have a good tolerance in eating bad food.
I was gonna ask if there are things that you require in the back of your mind when you first start dating or being friends with someone. For example, if I knew a certain person, and I knew my friendship level with that person, I would consider how much money I would lend someone. Say if it was like someone who is who will pay you back, I'm willing to lend more money to them rather than to someone who I know won't pay me back for it. You know what
What
I
was the
mean?
question? Yeah, I know, but what was the question?
And
What
I
was the
said, are there
question?
I'm kind
things
of
that
confused.
you require in the back of your mind
All
when
right.
you're friends with someone or in a relationship with someone?
Oh, well, I don't require anything, but I usually test. I test them. So
Mm.
I test them. So like I'm willing to go out, and then I'll offer to pay first. And then I'll see if next time they if they try to take advantage of me, or if they're willing to now like pay stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I kind of try to see their routine, but
Oh, that's
yeah,
smart.
that's it. I don't think I come with any requirements.
I need them to have like a warm side, like just
Or
the way they think, the way they speak, everything in that way. I need them to be like not so cold hearted. And I could kind of see
Mm-hmm.
it, like if they're like nice, genuinely nice person, like they have their warm heart, like warm inside, but some of them, like the way they think or way they treat other people, like I could see that they're cold. And I think for like
Mm-hmm.
friends and even for significant others, like I think that's so important that they're genuinely a nice, caring person.
is anybody not nice in here? Jane,
I think everyone's nice here.
we all nice. You heard that,
Those kind of
viewers?
cold-hearted sometimes.
I'm kind of cold-hearted. I agree.
Yeah. But I know he cares a lot, but he just does
I
that
don't
to
like to
himself.
show it.
Yeah, he just does that to himself. Like, I don't care about
Flo
anything. And then
Flo's just
he'll
a
like,
big softy inside.
Ooh.
I wanted to add to what Jane said. So when I see someone who's like really good with dogs or something, for example, if the dog is really friendly with that person and they like that person, it's a good indicator that they are also a good person.
Mm. That's what my
What if
mom
they're
used to
scared
say.
of dogs?
I
That's you? You're scared of dogs, Paul?
I used to be so scared of dogs. Okay, I changed. I kind of changed. I'm still kind of scared of dogs. Depends on what kind of dog we're talking about. But usually, if I'm walking by the street and I see a dog, dude, I try to avoid it because, like, I don't know, I'm scared that it's gonna bite me or whatever. But in middle school, I used to run away from dogs. Like, they would chase me like crazy, and I would jump on top of couches, sofas, and I'd be like, "Get this shit off me!"
Wait, you're not supposed to run when you see a dog.
I
Dogs see that as a
playing with
reason
them.
to play with you.
Yeah, but for me, I used to be like, dude, I gotta run away from what I'm scared of. That's funny.
that's so true though, Sandy. I actually use Ari to test people. Not test people, but it kind of shows what kind of person they are. If they could like
Mm.
bond, if they're actually like, if they like love Ari, like I love that.
Well, so if
Like,
Yeah.
dogs like if how do you know it? Like, how do dogs act if they're close to someone that's not a good person?
my brother, Ari hates her. Like every time my brother opens the door, she will like poop in his room or like throw up in there. And like when she calls her, like she doesn't even look at him.
So you're saying, wait,
She's
your
cold
dog
hearted.
your dog doesn't like your brother?
Yeah. There are certain people that
What?
she really doesn't like. And I think I know why. Because I don't like them either.
Oh.
Just kidding.
Thanks.
Dang.
Just kidding. Just
So,
kidding.
so pretty much your dog can be like your fortune teller. It's like,
Yes.
all right, this guy's cool.
They'll
Yeah.
tell you the green flags and the red flags. I think cooking is a great thing. If the person that if my significant other doesn't know how to cook, that's cool too. But a huge green flag is if the significant other is willing to do what you're doing as well. So like if I'm cooking, then she's willing to also cook with me. And then if she's doing something, then I'm willing to do it with her. Kind of stuff like that. So like kind of
Mhm.
share each other's passion to a certain extent. Although cooking is not my passion, but what I'm saying is like if you can get along, if you can try to share each other's passion, and try to get into each other's lives that way, I think that's a good green flag.
Even if that person doesn't know how to cook, it's just nice to have them there as support, like just spending time with you and stuff.
Or wash the dishes. For me, it's like washing the dishes if the
Mhm.
other person cooks.
Hmm.
Oh, you don't like washing dishes, huh?
Later. No. If I were to be in a relationship though, I would definitely do dishes and cook as well at the same time. That's
Mm.
we'll get to see eventually, once I'm dating.
I also think it's really attractive when they have like good habits, like working out, like working on themselves, self development, like anything. I think especially working out, if that's like in your like daily routine or even like weekly routine, I think it's so attractive. Like they know how to take care of themselves and they care about how like their health and what they eat. Yeah.
That's true, and
Mhm.
I feel like because it gives like it's a good indicator, as you mentioned before. It's a great indicator in letting know what type of person the person is. If the person one can actually actively work out, which I can't, like on a daily basis, like 5 times a week, and stick with it, then it shows discipline,
Mm.
and I think that's like a huge green flag.
Um, so I wanted to ask you guys, um, how do you determine whether you want this person in my life? And I have an example for this. My friend sent me this about a month ago, and I thought it was really interesting. So it's about two bears and a puppy. It's kind of a test. So I'm gonna read this to you guys. Two bears and a puppy is a test developed working on Esquire story on the American Son of a Bitch. The test is in order to find out how you actually feel about someone yourself. Would I have two beers with this person and would I allow this person to look after my puppy over a weekend? Some people are no and no. These people are to be avoided at all costs. Some people are yes and no. These people are to be cautiously trusted. Some people are no and yes. These people are no fun, but they make the world a better place, for puppies especially. Some people are yes and yes. These people are wonderful people, and your life and work are better for having them in your life. Seek them out, collaborate with them, enjoy their company.
Mm.
Oh.
Dang, that test wouldn't work out on me though.
And why is that?
I feel like I'd be willing to drink 2 beers with anybody, which is cool. Because 2 beers is not enough to anyways like get me too fucked up to the point where I would lose trust or anything like that, or I wouldn't be able to control myself. So I'd be like have to be cautious. But also with the dog, it's more like I feel like I just trust people pretty easily. I kind of see the good side in everybody first, and so actually I don't have a dog. I don't have a dog, so I can't really talk about it.
Okay,
Depends.
but
Okay, say
it's kind
It's
of
the
a
concept.
hypothetical
Mm.
It's the
situation.
concept.
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
but I also don't know the feeling of actually owning my own dog and how much I would value my dog. That's the thing. That's the main reason why
Okay,
I'm like
okay, say it's not a dog. Say it's like
my
a
credit card
tiny
or my
human.
wallet. My wallet. How about that? Okay. I can see it.
Or
If I
like
switch it to
your
wallet.
apartment. Would you give someone your keys to your apartment?
Oh.
Oh damn! Now he's like, oh no,
I mean that
No,
makes
you
more sense
don't,
for me,
man.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Putting it to that
Um,
perspective. But that's
I
yeah.
think I think that's actually really good because two beers with someone that you don't like is painful. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
one beer max, maybe half a beer, but ordering that second beer with someone, that's I think that's really hard. So, because I don't drink with just like anyone, like I just need someone to that I vibe with. If not, I don't even drink that
Mm-hmm.
much. And I guess two beers
Yeah,
for
you
me, it could be like four because I could drink like four beers.
I wanted to mention like if the company is so bad, wouldn't you want more drinks to make it more bearable? Because
No,
for
it's not worth
me,
it.
but why would you
no.
have
because I'll have
why
fun on
why
my
would you have
own
that
with that
company
much.
in the first place?
Yeah.
And think about it this way. If you're gonna drink more, you're gonna be more open to the person. So if you hate that person, you're gonna wanna like call him out. Your emotions will run over you, bro.
I don't
You're gonna
know.
be like, yo, I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna be like, yo, I'm gonna be honest with you, I fucking hate your ass.
I can
That's
say
true.
something like that, but at least you're being upfront, right? You're being like genuine with that person. That person's never gonna hang out with you again, and you take him out of your life at this point. So the job is done.
I was gonna ask like, who would you drink 2 beers with if you had to pick one and then take care? Actually, I know what you're gonna say, Sandy. I know who you're gonna say. You're gonna trust Jade. You're gonna say Jade. Drink with Jade and
Oh,
trust
here?
Jade. Yeah, yeah, in this group.
Oh, out of the entire team, yeah. Honestly, I would trust Jane because one, I don't think
What?
or you, Brandon, have ever like taken care of a dog.
Like they don't know. Living in the same house and taking care of them so different, and I would only trust
Mhm.
Sandy with it too. Flo always
Damn.
gives me crap when Ari like poops in her floor. Like, dude, it's
Okay,
just poop. Clean
it's
it
just because
off.
okay, you're used to it, but I'm not used to it. But if I had to take care of a dog, then I pick it up anyways, you know. But it's just like I don't usually see, shit on the floor. You guys are used to it because you have dogs, yeah. But for me, it's like if I'm walking by my house and all of a sudden I step on it with my foot, you know how mad I'm gonna be.
No, that's me too. Of course, if I step on it, but you don't. Literally, she's like pooping. She's like, ah, she's pooping. I'm like, oh my god.
Like, come on, if there's dog shit on my floor, it's kind of surprising.
Hey, if you leave your dog with me, I'm gonna train it to go to the restroom, poop, and then flush.
Gonna get stuck down. You're gonna
You'll
start
see Ari just like walking out with the newspaper.
See, this is why I don't trust him.
Oh, I have one final thing to ask you guys. Are there something or advice you want to give to the listeners about the green flags?
I think green flags. I guess like something that I want to mention and bring up is there's a lot of generic green flags, but you gotta know your specific green flags, like what you actually like. My apologies, but I think you gotta really know what you like about the person and what is a green flag for you. So like the example that for me, I don't like high maintenance people when they complain about like small food or whatever it is, like a hair, whatever, in someone's food. I don't like that. But for you, you might like it if you're a high maintenance person. So just that's my green flag. What's your green flag?
My green flag is just, it doesn't matter if they have a green flag or a red flag. You just gotta know that person first. Don't shoot the gun first, wait, just wait, take some time to learn and see if you're actually compatible with their red flags because red flags can always change, like Sandy said. So it's only if they're willing to change and whether you are willing to adapt.
My final take on green flags is don't push away those people who show green flags. Build your relationship with them and keep your relationship with them. I think it's important because you want those people in your life.
I want to say everyone has green flags and red flags, and I wanted to say don't make those red flags like see the person differently. Maybe they have some good sides as well. So, it's always good to look for what's good in a person. Like everyone has good sides. But I also want to say that if you see a red side that is bad, don't ignore it because they have some good like green side of them because some red flags are really bad for you and it's very toxic, so don't like ignore it all the way is what I wanted to say.
Mhm.
All right. Well, so this is the end of episode 15. We hope you actually enjoyed it and you got a lot out of it.
Don't forget to comment below if you want to let us know about green flags or things we missed out on.
And please like and subscribe to our channel.
And follow one of our biggest, social media like Instagram, TikTok, and Discord. Thank you so much for tuning in. And this is String Along. Bam, son.
Goodbye.
In one. Oh,